Welcome to the Big 121 podcast with your hosts,
Peyton Moore
and Spencer Nelson.
And today we have our special guest today.
Hi, my name is Devon Shadly.
Yeah, and we are interviewing him for episode 3, and we're going to see his side of Riding 121 for him.
It's quite exciting.
Exactly. Okay, so for the first question we have for you today, how were you before Riding 121? Where did you come from, and how was your English before that?
Honestly, I'd say my English, in the case of writing and just like understanding text, was kind of mediocre. I felt like most, when it came to annotating, was like subpar from where I wanted it to be. And honestly, I don't know, I just kind of felt like a a bum when it came to writing.
Okay. Now, how was your first semester of Riding 121 for you?
First semester was hell. It was my first time ever taking like a college course class, so trying to get used to like the due dates and the cutoff dates, that's what really stumped me in the first like week. Then after that, after I understood like all of that, I felt like I was pretty well off. It was just a lot of time after school that I wasn't really used to, and then yeah,
Bigger workload, you would say?
definitely bigger workload.
Yeah, and do you think it would be helpful for maybe future students to kind of prepare themselves with maybe taking harder classes their junior year?
Oh no, totally. I highly recommend taking 121. Not only does it it's taught me a lot about writing that I'm grateful for, but it's also, I feel like it's prepared me for more in the future. I feel like when it comes to typing essays or sending emails, I feel like I actually know what I'm trying to say and how to say it, and I feel like I have not only that kind of grammatical fluency with it, but I know how to keep it flowing. I know how to get to the point without using dumbed down words. I don't really know.
Yeah, so those are kind of your pros, but do you have any cons about the class that you'd want to share with people?
Honestly, just the con would probably be the time. It takes a lot away from you, especially if you have other commitments like sports or a job. It can sometimes be hard to balance the two. But with Deckelman being the teacher, he's been very lenient when it comes to that. Normally on smaller assignments, if you tell him ahead of time, hey, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get this done. I have work or I'm out at a track meet. Could you give me a extra day? He's normally been pretty lenient with that kind of stuff.
Yeah, so working on your communication with your teacher and kind of building that connection helps.
Yeah, and then honestly, just kind of the people that I was around. We were always getting switched around with different groups, and sometimes there was people I didn't really see eye to eye with, and I guess that was another trying to communicate with someone who thinks that their way is always the right way. I guess that was kind of hard.
Yeah. Did you think that moving around helped you see different views and stuff?
Me personally, no. I kind of got annoyed with it. But I feel like maybe some other people, that definitely helped. It did help when we did group assignments, mostly for the people who actually knew what they were doing compared to me, who was just sitting there chewing on a crayon,
But do you think that kind of being pushed into new environments with new people that you generally wouldn't get to do stuff with, do you think that kind of helps with kind of preparing yourself for college and outside of school when you will have to work with people you won't always but it kind of in the end something will come out of it?
I agree with what you're saying. I feel like going down that college rabbit hole, I feel like going into college is going back to kindergarten in a way. You're going to a place full of people your age that you've probably never met before, and I feel like then is basically first grade all over again, where you find this person hey, do you want to hang out and study or something like that, and I feel like that's what sparks kind of those friendships. And then just kind of going through either the 2, 4, 6 years that you decide to take into college, that's you develop like your social skills more than I feel like you would in high school. I feel like high school is just kind of like that tutorial, you know?
Yeah. Overall, what do you think was like the hardest assignment for semester 1?
Probably the final assignment we did, paper 1, Portrait of a Writer.
Portrait of a Writer, yeah.
I feel like that one personally got to me because I feel like I was arguing for something that I didn't really know or care about, you know? And it was kind of hard trying to put like that emotion that I normally do when I put into writing, because when I write about something and it's good, I find because I was like engaged with it or I knew what I was talking about.
Yeah.
This was like a completely different, like thrown into the dark with no information. I had to find something that I cared about for some reason and prove why I cared about it. And I feel like that just, I didn't really understand it. I guess that grade kind of showed for that.
Yeah. And I mean, kind of going back on that, on our first episode, me and Peyton were talking about kind of the assignments we struggled with, and that kind of writing construct, Portrait of a Writer paper came up. Kind of just the difficulty of it being something new that we weren't really familiar with, and then kind of figuring out how to write about it without making it kind of argumentative, while trying to find a reason for us to write about what we chose.
Yeah.
Yeah. And did any of the previous assignments help you with that, like the college essay or any of the other ones like that?
Oh yeah, no, for sure. Those definitely helped me with sentence structure. I feel like that was like my biggest thing going into this class was I didn't really know how to structure an essay properly.
Yeah.
I feel like that definitely helped. But yeah, like what Spencer was saying, just like trying to find a reason to argue for something that you could honestly not care less about was.
What did you end up choosing for that assignment? What writing rule?
I'm gonna be so honest with you, I don't even remember.
Oh.
I think it had something to do with grammar.
Did
or, like,
you
slang and essays?
So going kind of on to semester 2, did you change your writing construct for your paper?
Oh yeah,
100%.
100%. Semester 2 I felt was this year is kind of easier than last. Now that I'm kind of like a little seasoned and know what's going on, I've better prepared myself for due dates, cutoff dates, what to expect really going into the next semester. And honestly, I kind of enjoyed this semester. I'm sad it's over. I'm sad we're graduating, but like at the same time, I'm happy to get out of here and away from all these
kind of the struggles and the
immature youngins.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm guessing you had better table mates this time, huh? Because it sounds like you definitely got moved around this semester.
Agree to disagree.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Why? How do you say that? What was wrong with your table mates this semester?
Nothing wrong with them personally. It's just I feel, for lack of better words, stupid around them. I feel like the people that I'm around, their head spaces are definitely into like that college,
college
aspect.
grind.
Yeah, and me personally, I'm not really going to college. I took this class as like a bet from my friends, and I didn't expect to get into it at all, but I did. And I've just been kind of like muscling through it. I originally did it to raise my GPA.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, you took that risk, and so far, do you think it's paid off?
I went from like a 2.8 to a 3.5, so yeah.
Damn, good job.
Do you think, I mean, not just like taking this class for the grade, but do you think taking this will help you kind of throughout your life? Or do you think it'll kind of make you more prepared for like certain challenges that you may come out?
Yeah, like I was saying earlier, I feel like it's definitely helped me when it comes to writing emails or papers. I feel like I have like a good idea of like sentence structure, flow, grammatical like tendencies, what I should and shouldn't say, follow, and it's definitely helped me out. I've used it in some of my creative writings. My favorite assignment that we did was our unreleased piece when we were doing our portfolios at the end of semester 1. Our unreleased piece was like completely creative, and I did it all in the span of one night. I typed out like a couple thousand words of a story that I just came up with on the spot that was related to a story that I did in another one of Deckelman's classes, and it was like, it really showed where my mind was, and it really showed like what kind of writing I was into. And he even talked to me after class. He was like, this is some like the best work I've seen you do. Like, why can't you do this for any other assignments? And it was like, well, I guess I kind of chopped it up because like this was something I was interested in. I was kind of in that flow. I had that, and it was like creative. So it was like my own little world that I created just from my imagination.
Do you think kind of the structure of the class with the assignments we do, kind of having those pretty specific guidelines on what we're able to do and what we're supposed to do kind of limits your creativity of what you're wanting to do?
Creativity, yes, mostly because I can't just spout out on some nonsense and then wrap it all up to make it sound like I know what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
But mostly for the aspect that it's not bad. It's definitely good because this class is like all about teaching us how to properly write in like the collegiate level. I wish we did more creative writing or assignments on this. I feel like those would definitely show like where people are at and like just kind of deep into like their personality, dive into their personality a little bit, just kind of like see who they are underneath that like college layer, you know. But yeah, no, the guidelines and all that are definitely important. They've helped me out a lot.
I remember me and Spencer were talking about like the free writing, and it sounds like you had a hell of a time with that one assignment. And do you think free writing, that construct that Deckelman taught us, was helpful for you?
I'm gonna be so dead ass with you. I don't know what you're talking about.
Like those when we would start every day with just a paragraph of free writing.
Yeah, dude, that was so long ago. I don't know. He just kind of said like if you had nothing to write about, just like write whatever went into your head. And most of my papers looked like a third grader had gotten a hold of them and was like trying to ruin his older brother's homework. So I guess it warmed my hand up for the writing we were gonna do that day. But other than that, it never really helped. It was just kind of like literally what was on my mind, and most of the time it wasn't even like school related.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, what am I gonna have for dinner tonight? Should I make dinner or should I wait for folks to get home to make them? Should I go for a walk? A walk sounds nice. No, but it's too cold, you know, that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Another point is, remember when we did the five paragraph, when we were reading all of those, what did that bring up in your mind when we were talking about those in class?
It kind of showed me like where we started from, because growing up, whenever you would take an English class, that was kind of like the base, like the 5 paragraph like format was what we were taught to write in. And it kind of just like, it was like going on a long hike and then like getting to a clearing where you could see the start of the hike and you get to see like how far you've come. And like looking back, it's like, wow, this is where we all kind of started, and now look where we're at kind of moment. And like some of us were definitely like further on this hike than others, but I feel like that was kind of like where my mind went with that, you know?
Yeah.
What were your thoughts?
I really liked it because it was more of a thoughtful piece, because it definitely did challenge, like, especially how all of us were taught that, and then eventually they want us to move away. But like the grading structure that has been placed in schools has like only allowed us to write the 5 paragraph essay.
Yeah.
Like
completely agreeable.
Especially since everybody is based and is taught that, there's not much growth that a writer can come after that. Like, yes, there's many different ways.
I don't think writer has much growth, to be honest with you.
Oh, phew. We actually haven't talked about writer in this podcast yet, but we might think of interviewing him next for a future episode.
Yeah.
It's going to be fun for you guys.
We might even have a panel of Ryder and Nathan, which I feel like our amazing teacher, Deckelman, would absolutely love to listen to that episode.
Yeah, he definitely would. Kind of going back to that kind of creative writing, we have like what we had at the beginning of the class during first semester. I feel like that was a struggle for me personally. Cause I mean I was a pretty creative person. But my kind of ability to kind of know what to say or how to put it into words has been a like struggle. But I feel like doing those helped quite a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any like thoughts on that?
Like the little creative things that we did at the beginning of class, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, those I feel like those didn't really help me at all. Like they were all only good for like warming my hand up for
Okay.
like hour and we were gonna be writing for.
Yeah.
I did like the moments where we did read before class. I feel
Mhm.
like that definitely like took me away from things.
Yeah. I get
Speaking about that reading, did those stories bring up like anything about how it connected with you with your writing or
No.
help you with writing at all?
No.
No.
I was reading those books solely just to take myself away from 121.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Well, what was something or something that more impactful things you wrote or learned in this class?
Impactful. I'd say in the sense of impactful, like it definitely showed me like where people were and like not gonna lie, I kind of compared myself to a few people, not in the sense that I'm like, oh, I'm better than them, but just to like see where I am compared to someone that I'd kind of look up to. Was we did our portfolio thing and they're like talking about all of their like writing and all that stuff. It like showed me kind of where I was, and during that first semester I thought I was like way in the slums. Like I was just like that one kid who's gonna drop the class within the first week, which I almost did, because I was sitting at like a 32 for like a month and my folks would not get off my ass about that.
Do you think?
But
Do you think kind of being in that like position and then getting like through it like really helped you with anything?
you know, I feel like it did, Spencer. I feel like it did. It definitely, it helped me realize that sticking my neck out for something and not listening to people when they tell me to drop the class, like, really, I felt kind of in control in a way. Also got to say thank you to Deckelman, because he also kind of like advised me not to, because like it was something like I had definitely plenty of time to raise the grade.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah.
That first week really messed me up with the assignments.
Mm.
Was not ready for the cutoff dates to be a day after the due date.
Yeah, this is definitely like one of the hardest classes you've ever taken during high school, huh?
Yeah, about.
Yeah. Okay. Well, how are you feeling after writing 121? Like, what are some of like the hard skills that you've learned and then could take away from this class and use in your daily life?
Well, I don't know if they're really hard skills. I want to say, I feel like they'd kind of lean towards soft skills, but learning how to deal with annoying people, that would probably be the first one. Staying on track around noisy people, hinting towards Ryder and
So your
Nathan.
people skills.
Definitely like patience and focus. When it comes to writing, really learning how to hone in on that, like, what's it called? When you get like that sudden burst of like, okay, I gotta lock in and do this, and like you busted like out a 2-hour-long assignment in like 45 minutes, like hyperfixated. When you like learning how to hyperfixate on things that need to get done, and honestly, learning that procrastination in this class was not an option. Like some assignments, there was time to procrastinate, but this class, like most of the assignments were not meant to be procrastinated on, and that was one thing I really struggled with other assignments, was procrastination. The thought of like, oh, I have plenty of time to do it when I get home, knowing damn well I wasn't gonna do it, but just putting that back in my mind, being like, okay, I don't have to worry about this now. This class really like focused on, okay, I need to worry about this now, so I don't get a 0 on it, you know. And then kind of like learning to adapt. Like we were being moved around to different groups and like learning to adapt to other people's personalities, their behavior, like learning like what triggers them, what sets them off, what doesn't, what they like to talk about, all that kind of stuff. And like just like I guess learning how to be around different people that I would normally never be around.
Yeah. If you were to like tell someone, like a future junior that will be a senior next year and coming into this class, like what are some things that would definitely be learned before taking this class?
Pay attention to due dates, definitely, because like I said, that messed me up in the beginning. Like the first week, I didn't realize like why all these assignments were showing as missing and why I couldn't turn them in. Being on your A game, like that class can be hard sometimes, and it beats a lot of people into the dirt, but not giving up and like kind of just like sticking with it. Advocating for yourself, like learn to advocate, like learning the confidence to like go up to the teacher and be like, hey, like this is what's going on, I don't know what to do you have any like ideas? Because Declan is energetic as he is like a very knowledgeable person, and he has a lot of insight and information on this stuff. I mean, he's been doing it for like what, 25-30 years. So like definitely learning how to speak up for yourself and not like suffer like in the corner, you know. Honestly, just kind of have fun with it, you know. Like I feel like a lot of people take this class a little too seriously. It's definitely easier when you have friends or people that you can communicate with a lot easier.
Yeah.
Because you know, it makes it fun, engaging, like especially when it comes to partner projects. You're not stuck with Joe Schmo over there, and it's like, oh well, I don't really know you like that. I don't know what you're into, so guess we're just gonna like focus on that criteria, because then it just becomes hell. Like becomes quiet hell. But if I were to start a Peyton or assignment here with Peyton, I feel like it'd be a lot easier and a lot bearable, because we have that like form of communication.
Yeah.
We know how to communicate with each other, and like we know each other, you know.
Yeah, so do you think kind of people working on their communication skills throughout their like junior year, or like really all of their high school career going up to this class would help kind of with that, not being awkward and making it more bearable to do those assignments?
Yeah, I guess communication's definitely important in any class or any partner assignment. I feel like if you don't have good communication skills going into 121, you're definitely going to learn them. Just like with all the other people. And once you realize that you're all just there for the grade and the college credit, like it becomes a little more easier. And like with Declan switching around the table groups, you get to be exposed to a lot of people like you normally wouldn't hang out with. But yeah, if you take comms your junior year, like I didn't take comms, and I'm not really struggling in this class. Like I don't feel like comms is like a need to take this class. I feel like just knowing how to the basic functions of Google Docs and your way around a pencil, and a lot of free time and caffeine.
Yeah. So kind of going
Sleepless nights.
on like with the
Night terrors.
like the grading of like assignments and stuff,
butter.
do you think having these peer reviews for a lot of our like bigger assignments have been helpful in your case?
My case, I don't remember a time where peer review was actually helpful. I feel like most of it was just like, oh yeah, I skimmed through it. Looks good, man. You had like maybe a spelling error here and here. I don't feel like a lot of people, especially with like the bigger assignments, like guilty as charged here, like I feel like a lot of people like just kind of skim through it, mostly because they're in that headspace to like get their own thing done, that they don't want to like read another person's. I know when I was reading my friend Tyler's paper, I like read the first paragraph and I was like, oh, okay, he knows what he's doing. I'll just like be like, yeah, it looks good. I read through it. Everything looks like it folds together. I feel like when people peer review it, they focus on like is this spelled right? Is this period meant to be here? Why isn't this capitalized? I don't feel like they actually pay attention to, do all your sources add up? Do they all connect some way, or are you just going down a rabbit hole?
Yeah.
does it loop back and like connect, you know?
Well, one more question. What was kind of like back on the first semester question we asked? What was the hardest assignment for you in second semester? What'd you say?
I'd say so far the hardest would be paper 2, mostly because going into it I didn't refer back to paper 1 because paper 1 was just
Yeah, you like you said you changed your writing
yeah,
construct.
paper 1 was just, it was cobbled together nonsense and it gave me no information. So basically just started fresh with this when I changed my construct and I actually like delved down the rabbit hole of like this construct that I was doing, and I'm gonna be honest with you, I forget the construct right now. It's long gone. But I feel like paper 2 definitely was better than paper 1 for the sole purpose that I actually knew what I was talking about this time, and I gave like a little more like enthusiasm when I was doing this. I did have to go back and change a few of the paragraphs just because like my evidence didn't like tie back to my thesis or conclusion, didn't like actually conclude what I was talking about. So there was definitely some struggles in between, but overall I think I did way better on this one than I did my last one, and honestly I'm kind of proud of it.
Yeah. And then so kind of just like to end off us today, overall, how do you feel after writing 121? Like, did you like the class? Did you not?
I liked it. I think it's a class that everybody should take because not only does it offer like pretty much great writing skills, it works on your people skills, it works on overall just like writing is a form of communication that we've used since we were first evolving, you know. It's like we communicated with cave paintings, we communicated with stone. Like writing is just like, it's there and it will always be there. And I feel like learning how to write properly and not sound like a dummy, I guess, lack of better words, when writing is really important. And it takes you far. It's a lot. People look at your writing skills more than you'd think, whether that be your boss, colleagues. Like they really look at that. And if you like make a mistake, like there was this one joke that my pops always told me is like, there's this phrase like, let's eat grandma, but if you get rid of the comma, it's just like, let's eat grandma. Like it's the same sentence, but it's like you can make it mean two completely different things, and one's like normal and the other one's like, wait, what? And just like simple things like that could easily just like change the whole meaning of what you were writing. And I feel like learning how to like control that and like know where to put like grammatical like commas, periods, stuff like that, it's like it goes to show, and I think it can take you a long way.
Well, I thank you so much for being here today, Devon. I thank you for letting us
totally.
interview you. And
thank you for taking me out of class. You know,
Yeah.
I had nothing else to do today.
Exactly, but
Thank you for your insight on everything, kind of telling what's what. Your
No, anything for
perspective.
you, Spencer.
Okay, well, that's your host
I'm Peyton,
and Spencer.
and we thank you guys for listening today.